What's up guys, it's Phil. Welcome back for part 2 where I'm going to actually make some acrylic pen blanks using the tubes that I just made. So I got a couple of goodies here. I'm going to be using this Famo wood acrylic that I've been using to coat the tables. It's a crystal clear acrylic, so I'm going to try that. We're going to see how that works. I'm not exactly sure. And then also, I've got this stuff. Now I don't even know what this is for. I believe this is actually for like automotive painting, but I've got fuchsia, which is really hot pink, royal blue, and silver. I had a neighbor in Tampa that was just throwing these out and found out these are actually very expensive, so I kept them just to use for this kind of thing. So we'll see. I'm going to try and figure all this out and mix them up and see what I can make. Since I know I've only got about 8 ounces of this stuff left. Let's see. Yep. I got 8 ounces left. So what I'm going to do instead is see how many tubes I can fill with 8 ounces of water. So I'm pretty much right at 4. Really wasn't able to get anything in that. So that stinks a little bit, but that's okay. Like I said, it's my first time actually doing this. So still figuring it out as I go. Alright, so I've picked out the 4 tubes that I want to use. I'm letting them dry. In the meantime, I'm going to start mixing up some of this stuff. This should be fun. Alright, so now it's time to mix these up. So I'm going to mix up some of this acrylic and start pouring it in, see what happens. Alright, so I have been getting these bad boys set, and we shall see what happens. It's going to take a couple hours, if not a full day, so I'm going to leave them overnight and check them again tomorrow, see if they've cured. So those 2 or 3 may not work at all, but I did one that was completely clear with a little bit of color on top, I think, that had the wood chips in it, and then I also did one that was just acrylic. So I'm going to give those all a try and see how they turn out. There were a lot of bubbles still in them, so one more thing I'm going to do is try heating up the tubes with a blowtorch, see if that makes any difference, and after that I'm just going to let them sit. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip straight to the end here. These, I got 3 blanks out of the 5 that I made. This is the one that was all the clear resin. And this was one of the ones that had the shavings with some of the purple and some of the clear and some of the, or the pink and the clear and the blue, and that kind of made a purple glittery mess. Yeah, don't ever torch these things inside of the PVC. All of the PVC bent, making it impossible to actually get them off, so I actually destroyed all 5 of my PVC molds trying to get these out. So I have to make 5 more, and I will not be doing the resin like this again. And also, turns out, towards the top and bottom, the resin actually got pretty clear on these pieces. Towards the middle, which is actually what this is, it turned really, really cloudy. I guess a bunch of air bubbles started coming out of the wood from it being so hot inside there. So that experiment definitely failed. There's no reason to try and heat it up and get the bubbles out because apparently it just makes more bubbles. So I'm going to try and use this to salvage for a Wall Street style pen. Same with this one. I'll probably make a single Wall Street out of it, but they're not big enough to do a cigar. However, I did get one blank that was complete, and I was able to make this guy. This is, I want to call it the Galaxy pen because it's so glittery and pretty, and it's, you know, blue and pink, which has kind of bleed into purple, and it's clear down here at the bottom. The downside of it being clear is that you can see the tube a little bit, so yeah, that might not have been the best choice, but it turned out really nice. I got it polished up kind of to a flat finish or a matte finish, so it's not super shiny, super glossy, but it's really smooth. I put a real thin grip down here at the bottom, and it's just a beautiful pen. So I'm really happy with the way this one turned out for my first attempt at making my own acrylic and making my own pen from that. But I will definitely be using a different type of acrylic most likely, and doing a couple of things differently. Probably even getting a vacuum pot, pressure pot, I mean, to, you know, really make this resin set the way it's supposed to. But this one turned out really nice, so that makes me happy.